One. We are recording, friends. So, welcome to our leisure education session about solo leisure. So, the title of today's session is called Flying Solo. The goal here is to aid you guys in understanding the impact that social supports that we have in our life, the impacts those have on group leisure when they get altered or affected, and just to learn how solo activities can kind of help you stay engaged in leisure pursuits when we don't have access to our group leisure activities. So, some of our objectives today. I'm hoping you'll be able to list out your social support network on the worksheet provided, along with leisure activities associated with those people in your social circle. We're going to do a group discussion and identify some leisure barriers as they are associated with group and team leisure. And then hopefully we'll be able to have you guys at the end determined two solo pursuits in leisure activities that you would personally like to enjoy, and you can kind of provide some internal and external strengths that will help you pursue those solo leisure activities. So, just to get started as a warm up, so we all get to kind of know each other. Um, y'all all should have a blank piece of paper. So if you want to grab your blank piece of paper, and I'm going to have you guys fold it in half like this, hamburger style. So we're going back to like first grade. Yeah, hamburger style. So that way you'll have two sides. So on one side here, you're going to make a little doodle or a drawing of you participating in a past leisure activity. So a recreation activity or a sport that you did in the past that you no longer do with a group. So either with, one other person or with like a team or a sports team. The other side, I want y'all to doodle a past leisure activity that you used to do by yourself. So a solo leisure activity. So I'm going to give y'all a few minutes to make your little doodles, and then we're going to share those with the class. So again, one side is going to be a group leisure activity you did in the past, and the other side is a leisure activity or recreation sport you did by yourself. Start our timer.
Are stick people okay?
Stick people are
Yes.
fantastic. I love stick people. So if you are not an artist, do not feel overwhelmed by this. This is supposed to be for fun. No one's getting a grade on if they're a Picasso or not. So if you just want to write down your leisure activities, your group and your solo, you can just describe them if you prefer.
Are we just doing the group one now or also both the solo?
You're doing both. So on one
Oh,
side, group, and the other side, solo. Yeah.
okay.
Y'all got about a minute or so left to finish up your little drawings. Okay, guys, finish up any little extras you want to add on there, some fun flair. Are most of y'all finished roughly? Yes, no?
Okay.
Yes, we're good. John over there,
Yeah,
good? Yeah.
yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Okay, well, now we're going to go around and just introduce ourselves. So just state your name and then just briefly describe what you drew for your group leisure and your solo past leisure. So if y'all want, I'll go first. So my name is Robin Womack. So I'm obviously your activity lead today. And for my group leisure activity, I drew my husband and I, we used to do competition shooting together. So this is us at a match. And then over here, years ago, I used to be able to run and I loved running by myself. It was very therapeutic and I kind of drew me running through the forest and also on the beach. So I love to run anywhere. So yeah, those are mine. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
So my group activity
Oh,
was
what's your
trekking.
name?
Do you see
Which,
that?
what's your name?
Oh, my name's Carolyn
Okay.
Womack.
Well, welcome, Carolyn.
And then this is my group activity. I used to run.
Okay.
And this is my group activity because I ran track in, I'm handing off the baton.
Oh, that's fun. Awesome. So for relays.
Okay,
Okay.
yes, relays. Okay, then my single activity is back
Oh,
riding.
yeah.
I used to show jump and ride English and Western pleasure.
I'll be honest, it's a pretty good horse.
Yeah,
Mine wouldn't look
I
like
was rushing when you told me there's only 20 seconds left.
you did great. You did great.
My name's John Dickinson. The group activity, I put like I used to be on a bowling team with some buddies from work. And then the single
Mhm.
leisure would be fishing.
Fishing. That's a good one. That's very therapeutic.
All right, my name is Aaron Nakin. I am used to be in a flag football team with my friends from high school, and also competition shooting for USPSA. And my single leisure is track and field and the gym if I got time.
If you got time.
Yep.
Did I lose you naked? It sounds you cut off. Okay.
Yep, my single leisure was run on the treadmill or go on run on the track.
Oh, okay, awesome. So also running. Love it. Love it. And shooting. So we kind of shared the same leisure activities. Love
Yep.
that. Well, now that we've all kind of got to know each other, and so welcome everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and just dive into the meat and potatoes of the session, if that's okay. So I just to kind of reiterate, our social supports can play key roles throughout our life, to obviously include our leisure activities, which we just demonstrated by our drawings. But if our social network is altered, so if our friends group or family group, people that we leisure with, if that changes, it can also change what leisure activities that we're able to do. So, for example, let's say that your spouse, you and your spouse played tennis together for 40 years, like that was your tennis partner, and your spouse sadly passes away. Who do you play tennis with? You know, so that changes your leisure activities and what you can do. So I gave each of you guys a worksheet. So we're going to fill out that worksheet. It's for our social support network to see the kinds of people and groups we currently leisure with. So go ahead and fill that out for me. So this could be someone when you're filling this out, this could be people or groups that you used to leisure with, you currently leisure with, maybe someone you'd like to leisure with, maybe you and your neighbor have been talking about going hiking together and you just haven't done it. So go ahead and fill that out as best you can. If you'll have any questions, let me know. So there should be a space for you to write down the name associated with each category. So for instance, if you were going to write down, you know, pets, you can write down your dog's name, Riggs, and the leisure activity that you do with your dog is go running. So, or like I said, the neighbor, you can put down your neighbor's name as Whitney, and the leisure activity you would like to do is hiking. If there is a line item on here that does not pertain to you, like if you don't have pets or you don't attend church, you can just skip it.
Do you want just the first name of friends or the whole name?
It's more for you. So, I mean, if
Oh,
you put down Whitney, you know who Whitney is,
okay.
like.
So just one friend?
Yeah, really just do one for each. So y'all aren't
Okay.
having, I mean, I'm sure we could spend like an hour on that worksheet, but yeah, and really what I'm looking for, because you'll have about a little over a minute left. If y'all just want to pick your top three and make sure your top three are completed, because that's what we're going to kind of refer back to later in this session, is just kind of thinking about your top three people that you currently leisure with, or used to, or you want to do something with. I've got about 30 seconds, and we're going to move on to doing a little group discussion about leisure barriers as they pertain to kind of our group and team leisure activities. So if you're able to just put a star next to your top three, just for your personal reference to reference back to. It doesn't have to be in particular order, just the star next to kind of your top three. All right, so now as a group, we're going to identify some group or team leisure barriers. So just to kind of give you all some reference. So group leisure is just an activity that is done with two or more people. So just you and somebody else, or like a sports team, for instance. And a leisure barrier, when I say the word barrier, that's just essentially an obstacle that prevents you from engaging in some recreation activity of your choice that you find, gratifying. So if it helps as an example, so you could think about and the barriers could happen either personal or they could happen, throughout your environment. So to think of barriers, consider recreation activities that you did in the past, like the ones that you drew in your photo. And why do you no longer do those? So what is the cause or the reason? And whatever that reason is, that is an example of a barrier. So I want us to kind of go through as a group. I'm just going to jot these down on my little dry erase board here so we can kind of just shout them out. Thinking, like I said, about your past activities you've done and that you no longer can do. What are examples of some barriers that you can think of, either personally or just that anyone might run into?
Well, like I'm 72,
Uh-huh.
so I no longer have horses. So I'm not longer able to
So you don't
ride
have access
anymore.
to the facilities and resources you
Right.
need to do equestrian. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So resources, facilities, okay, facility access.
So with group activities for me is also like scheduling.
Mhm.
People as they've gotten older, it's harder to schedule some of the events, like in bowling. Well, bowling, honestly, it was injuries and scheduling.
Okay,
Again,
injuries is a good one.
yeah.
Okay, as we get older, definitely physical injuries take its toll. And then like time management or just like lack
Yes.
of time,
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
Well, everybody's going different ways.
yeah.
All right, for me, it's similar with John's lack of time our timeline was not coordinated. Everybody have different days off, so
Yeah.
it's kind of lack of time and lack of uh, facility too. Also, the place that we want to meet at is just sometimes it's just not open to us for be able to do a flag football or
Okay.
and also it's the injury. You know, the more we playing, the more we get orders or injuries that we usually people do it, we can't do it, but as we used to.
Uh-huh. Yeah, injuries is usually a big one as we age, unfortunately.
Mhm.
How about I'm gonna add, because I know Carolyn mentioned resources. I mean, bowling, a lot of these, like you mentioned, shooting, naked, a lot of those I know cost money. It's
Yep.
not just about time, but for a lot of people, I think a big barrier is in terms of resources is finance.
Yep,
So
finance. So
um,
lack of finance sometime have to coordinate, with my wife and make sure that budget is good. And sometimes time is not giving me permission for me to be able to participate in those events because I have to work during the weekends or sometimes those day of the events not line up to my work schedule.
schedule. Yeah. And that just falls back on that time management or just lack of time. We're just all going in different directions. So, one of the other things I don't think we mentioned, but I mean, a lot of this stuff could relate to the people that we leisure with, and it might not be impactful for you. So maybe you have the financial means to do bowling, John, but your two buddies that were on your team, they had some life events that affect their finances, and now they can't bowl with you. So you no longer have a bowling team.
Right.
Or someone, let's say someone gets injured, like Nakin, like your flag football team, you had a couple of injuries and you don't have enough players, so you no longer can play. So all of that obviously can kind of come into effect, not just you personally, but the people that you leisure with that can affect that group leisure activities. So with that in mind, um, how can we participate in leisure obviously without our social circle? So as our social circle, gets altered due to whatever barrier, what can we do in place of our group leisure? So does anyone know the answer?
Well, all I know is I've been to more funerals and weddings lately, and
Great.
and
Okay.
our little town now has a senior center, and there's lots of event and activities that you can participate in there.
That's fantastic. Okay, yeah. So that's a great resource for you. So that's really good for like group leisure, the social aspect. And we are very social in nature, so it's great, like as human beings. So it's great for us to do those group leisure activities. But sometimes, we mentioned, the barriers for every reason affect our group leisure, whether it's for us or our social circle. So the what I want to kind of talk about a little bit today and kind of segue into is solo leisure. So a lot of people they don't think about doing recreational activities by ourselves, but solo leisure can be very rewarding and therapeutic in itself. So I would never replace group leisure with solo leisure, just because the social benefits, like I mentioned, of group leisure it's so great for us to do things together with other people. But solo leisure can help fill those gaps when we're without friends or family to leisure with, for small amounts of time. So I'd like us to just go ahead and brainstorm. I'm going to write down. Does anyone want to write down any of the stuff? I don't know if y'all are taking the notes from our barriers or if y'all can kind of remember those. I'll read them out. Just some of the resources, hours of operation, facility access, lack of time or time management, scheduling, injuries, money, and budget is kind of what I wrote down. So for our next group discussion, we're going to talk about solo leisure. So leisure that you do not have to depend on someone else for, something that you can do by yourself. So I have a couple of categories for us to go through. I'd love us to come up with at least two if we can of each category, but if we come up with one, that's fine. So I want us to think of any kind of leisure activity that you can do in your own home. So what could we do recreationally inside of our house?
Well, all I know is that when my husband goes hunting
Mhm.
and I stay home,
Mhm.
that kind of resets my peace because I also work with him.
Okay. What do
So I
you do in the
need
house
that.
when he's
Yeah, you
gone?
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I enjoy having that me time
Okay.
and taking a bubble bath, reading a book, just
Okay.
something I really enjoy doing.
Bubble bath, reading. That's a good one. Okay. Um,
And occasionally I exercise.
what else could y'all do in your home? John,
So,
naked?
so for me, I have the treadmill. I just alter my outdoors as indoor treadmill,
Huh?
and I also do the yard work around the house and cookings as my leisure.
Oh, cooking
Without.
inside. That's
Yeah.
a great one.
Mhm.
Okay, and then speaking of outdoors, so what are a couple things that we can do outside of our house, just in our yard?
Just
So,
mowing the lawns, look
mhm.
for any type of maintenance that need to be fixed for the accomplishments for the day or throughout the month of
Okay.
the maintenance.
Now, is that something you enjoy doing though? Do you consider that
Yep,
leisure?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, that's still like accomplishment. You fix something, like you fix your own. Like pretty much like a people fix their own car.
Yeah.
Like they
Your
accomplish
house.
something.
Yeah, sense
It's
of
your house.
pride and
Mhm.
yeah, self-worth. That's great. Anything else you can do in your yard?
Well, we're on
Uh,
5 acres. I just like taking the dog for a walk around the yard. Is he considered an extra person?
Yeah, maybe. I guess,
that's right. John, you got anything?
Like at times, I mean, during like a nice fall evening or whatever, just having a nice little fire out there.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Sitting on the back porch
something.
enjoying a Texas sunset.
Yeah, fire pit, sunsets. I love it. All right. Those are great, guys. Okay, what about in your neighborhood? So let's venture outside of our yard. Maybe walk down the street or just kind of like
Okay.
in your little community. What could you do inside your neighborhood or your community?
Walk around blocks around the neighborhood, observing, see how's the neighbor doing, or walking down, get the mails, or walk
Mhm.
around the neighborhood at nighttime and see what activity was going on with the neighborhood. That's kind of like give me like a kind of peaceful of my mind during the
Neighborhood
nighttime.
watch.
Took a walk. Yep, neighborhood watch kind of.
John, do you have
Uh,
anything that you do in your neighborhood or community?
So I'll go play disc golf or I mean, I don't know if this is leisure. I'll go have a beer. Like,
I mean, if it's pleasurable for you and it's enjoyable, sure. So, okay, but disc golf. So you do you have a disc golf? I guess a course close by. I guess then, like near
yes,
accessible to you. Okay,
yes.
that's fantastic. That's a great one. I love to be out there in the woods throwing discs at chains. So that's a great one to do in a group or by yourself. So in terms of the seasons. Is there any leisure activities that y'all prefer to do in the summer?
So for me, I go to the gym on pose.
In the summer?
Oh, I'm sorry, summer. I go out and I do my I shoot during the summer. Go out with
Okay.
either dry fryer at home or in the backyard, or I would just go out and doing clay shooting or doing practice on USPSA shooting.
Okay. Carolyn, you do anything fun in the summer?
I love kayaking the river.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a great summer activity. And if we were going to switch gears to the winter, John, do you have anything for the winter?
Oof.
Mr. Fire Pit?
Yeah, that the beer stuff still sticks.
Okay.
Uh, winter. Let me see. What do I? Well, around Christmas time and all, going and looking at the Christmas lights,
Yeah.
things like that, or events going on. Just like if I don't know if the town is having an event for a fall festival or a winter festival, things like that.
Do you normally do those by yourself or with your family?
Eh, It's happened both. Both have happened.
Okay, so good. All right, still solo leisure pursuits for John. All right, John's looking at
Yeah.
Christmas lights by himself. I like it. Okay.
I have.
If you were now, here's
Not
the
creepy.
yeah. If for now, these are probably my last two favorite categories for solo leisure is money, right? Because that was a big resource we talked about earlier. What leisure activities can you do that cost you nothing? And now I will say that costs you nothing. There could be someone else that it costs maybe them money, but what do you have access to that doesn't cost you anything for leisure?
The Salado Senior Center does not charge.
Okay, so your senior center, that's an awesome resource.
It
Okay.
runs on donations.
Senior center is free. Fantastic.
They do
And for
pickleball
us-
too.
For both of us,
Mhm.
because we're on a military base, we have like access to a gym.
Free gym.
Just sitting
That's
around.
gyms.
also huge. Yeah, most people have to pay
There you
monthly
go.
membership. So
And a shooting range, access to that, which is free. So
all right. And now I'm gonna ask each one of y'all if y'all could pick one leisure activity where money was no object. If you could do one solo leisure activity, any one you want, and it doesn't matter how much it costs, you'd instantly have all of the resources you needed. What would that leisure activity be?
A world cruise.
World cruise by yourself. All right.
Yes.
Love it.
I love
I'll
every
be
minute of it.
there. Carolyn, I'll be there. You won't be by yourself.
All right, John. I'll take you
John's
over
on
wing
that
any day.
world cruise.
Your social circle's expanding.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
okay.
John's on the. Because I was thinking the similar thing.
So
Oh,
for
we're
me,
gonna
I'm just,
really? Oh, how funny. Our minds think alike, John.
Macon, are
Yes.
you also wanting to go on a cruise by yourself?
yeah, for me too also.
World
This
cruise
isn't just
it
a
is.
cruise,
I love it.
this is a world cruise.
Oh, I could just see y'all each on your own cruise boats, just cruising.
Yep. With a little rubber ducky, you know.
Oh man. Well, I love that. This is a great list. I'm gonna flip it over. I don't know if y'all can read this or not. But okay, so we just went over a whole bunch of solo leisure activities. I would like you just personally on your notes, on your notepad, choose two solo leisure activities, either from this list or ones that maybe we didn't, but two solo leisure activities that you would like to incorporate into your routine or into your leisure lifestyle right now.
Other than what we've already mentioned.
No, you can use these. You can use
Okay.
ones other people mentioned if you want, or
World cruise.
World Cruise. Let's go. Yeah.
I'd like to volunteer though at a horse center.
Okay. This is for
Oh.
y'all's, I mean, I'd love, please share if y'all want to, but write down two solo leisure activities. It's kind of like your personal goals, right? So if you kind of write it down, it's like you're kind of wishing it into existence, right? And out of the two solo leisure activities that you're thinking of right now, what two strengths that you currently possess, all right, that would help you overcome some of the barriers we previously discussed? They could be internal strengths, external strengths, like Carolyn mentioned that she has access to a free senior center in her environment, in her community. That's fantastic. That would be like an external strength, right? External strengths could also be your social support network, all right? Now I know we're talking about solo leisure. So in terms of like internal strengths, Naked has access to a treadmill in his house. That's pretty awesome. So maybe, John, I guess, has a fire pit in his backyard. So those are things that y'all have access to that could considered maybe as a strength that might help you be able to accomplish those solo leisure activities that you're thinking of. So just think of things that you currently can tap into personally or in your environment to help you accomplish pursuing those solo leisure activities.
So it's
And
solo. So doing horse therapy, because I have such a strong background in
Mhm.
equestrian.
If you have a question background, that would be an awesome strength. Like, yeah. So, I mean, and for this exercise, we're focusing mainly on the solo leisure. There's gonna be the other educational sessions that it's not just about solo leisure. But yeah, those are, I mean, great things to think of, Carolyn, honestly, is the thought process is what I'm looking for, right? Is that you're being able to take like strengths, internal, external that you possess to be able to help accomplish you pursuing new leisure activities. So if you wanted to volunteer, so say like an equestrian center, because you have an equestrian background, you're good with horses, that's fantastic. That's a great strength. And then just to kind of follow up, to just wrap things up, really, how can you strengthen and expand your leisure opportunities in the future? And whether it's solo or group leisure. So obviously making new friends. So when our social circle changes, you have other friends to fall back on. Maybe, like I mentioned, you had that neighbor that y'all want to start hiking, but you just haven't. Maybe you go and take that first step. Finding hiking trails in your area, the resources you need, setting a time, working out on y'all's schedule to be able to set like a date and a place to go together. Maybe you learn new activities to give yourself, that option. Maybe you no longer can run, so you're going to go learn how to ride a bike, and join a cycling club. So you're going to seek out resources in your community. Like Carolyn has the youth center. I wish. Carolyn has a youth center that has, I'm sure, a lot of really awesome free activities that I'm assuming you probably haven't done all of them yet, right?
Oh no, they have a multitude of activities, and then they have some outside ones too. Like
Okay.
they have wine tasting outside in our little village.
So
Yeah.
you and John can bring his beer and y'all can just
That's right.
leisure together.
Then they have pickleball. I mean, they have, then they have dominoes for people that cannot be active.
Yeah. Well, when you're thinking about expanding your leisure pursuits, like, and you're thinking about all these resources that you have right there in your own backyard, in your home, in your yard, in your community, also kind of look back at your top 3 people on your social circle and think about, if a barrier did affect them, what would you do and how would that change your leisure? So just keep solo leisure obviously in the forefront of your mind, and just know that there are plenty of things that you can do by yourself to still stay active and engaged in pleasurable leisure pursuits, right? So does anyone have any questions about today, or solo leisure, group leisure, barriers, anything?
No, it's very interesting. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, cool. John, Nakin?
Nope, not for us.
Okay, cool. Well, actually, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks so much, guys. Y'all were absolutely great and very interactive and engaging, so I appreciate that. And just to give y'all a heads up, so for our next session, the next session doesn't require you to bring anything, so there's no worksheets or paper or anything like that, but I mean, I'll provide anything else that we need for that. But we're going to actually further expand on some solo leisure pursuits, because we're going to work on seeking out joy in our environments. And we're going to look inward into the power of positivity to help shape our attitude toward leisure. So that will be for next session, but thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.